Okay, hopefully this is working, but this is the Hobbywing app. So, this is the Hobbywing app. I have it connected to the B74 with the Xr10 stock spec G2, with the LCD G3 Pro programming card with Bluetooth. I just upgraded the firmware to the boost firmware so I can change the turbo timing and the boost timing. But right now I have it on profile, which is off-road for four-wheel drive buggy. Now it's not real blinky mode, so I don't know if the track's gonna allow that. They should though, because I'm racing in the open class at the factory. But if we go down to timing, I have it on 0 and 0, so technically it is stock racing, because there's no electronic timing. I just upgraded the firmware so I can have that availability when I race open class at the factory, but I can change it back to 0 when I go to race a actual 13.5 class at the other tracks, and just experiment with it overall. Although the ESC is not in blinky mode, so the red light isn't blinking, but technically is technically still blinky mode because I'm not running any turbo and boost timing. So these settings are grayed out because I'm having the boost and turbo timing at 0, which is the default. No, I don't know, I changed it, but I don't know which one was which, but one of the timing was 0 from the factory, the other was like 12 degrees. So I just changed them to 0. So that's that. You also have on-road profile and two-wheel drive drift profile. On the stock firmware it came with, it was stock spec, so you had two-wheel drive buggy blinky, four-wheel drive blinky, and on-road blinky. So I just upgraded to a boost firmware so I can just adjust the timing, but still technically I'm still running blinky mode. But the light isn't actually blinking, but it is what it is. Settings. This is a Bluetooth module settings. I just updated the firmware on this, so 1.112. The database I couldn't update because it failed for some reason. I'm gonna try that off camera again. Then the name, password, whatever. Then the firmware update on the ESC. So the available versions is the current boost one, and then the 3.02. I believe I had the 4.3.01 firmware, which was the stock firmware of March of 2023? No, March of 2024, yeah. Because I got this ESC at BHRC back in late March or April. So yeah, so that's the ESC firmware. Parameters, we already went through that, so I got turbo and boost timing now, but like I said, I have it on 0 degrees on both, so I can race stock class. I adjusted something in here before back when I got it at BHRC with my buddy's OTA programmer, but I'm pretty sure it was either the throttle or the braking or the PWM frequency. I think he put it on the 1K. I'm not sure, but the stock on the boost timing for off-road is 12K. So ESC settings, you got running mode. I got a program with reverse for practice. I'll turn that off for racing. Reverse force, reverse delay, cutoff voltage, ESC thermal, motor thermal, BEC. That will stay at 6 volts because my servo can only run 6.6 volts. Motor rotation, AC, phase swaps, throttle control, coast, neutral ranges, values. Most of this stuff I really don't touch at all. And half of this stuff I don't know what it actually does. But what I wanted to show you, finance, okay, is data logging. So this was the peak record for Surface. It saved all of my records. So it saved practice sessions from all the way back in August. And then the most current section, 1221, is when I was at the factory for that awards race. I don't know what I did there to make it go off. I'm guessing it reads it when I connect it to Bluetooth. So next time I'm at the track for practice, I'll experiment with data record. So that's all our peaks. But the live data record is this. So you got your throttle input, RPM, ESC voltage, ESC current, ESC temp, and motor temp. You can adjust from speed and RPM. Settings, that's your speed calculations. I don't know any of this stuff, so my speed might be off, but previously I calculated the motor spinning at 35 point something miles an hour, so that's pretty good for 13.5 and everything. I'm not sure if that's the actual speed of the car, because of tires, gearing, oil, setup, stuff like that. Data record, data log, history, from ESC. The from ESC and from files probably the peaks. The from OTA or Bluetooth is the real time. So I'm going to punch full throttle on both and you'll see the numbers go up and down. If my tire doesn't get all caught up in the towel. So that's RPM right there, and then we go back to speed. $35.5 miles an hour just on the motor. That's pretty good. Speaking when running it on the track, can't really tell if it's 35 or not. Also, that's only the motor speed, and only the motor speed, because you have to account for the gearing, setup, tires, like I said. I'm running the LCD G3 Pro card, the more affordable one, so I ideally can't run real-time record when I'm racing or practice sessions because the card is so big. Later I might upgrade to the OTA programmer, but we'll see about that, money and stuff. And I'll probably get it if I get a Xr10 stock spec or a Xr10 Pro in the TLR buggy. But that is basically it. Yeah, so that's your connecting, and then that's my program card. So yeah. So that's the Hobbywing app and the data record, all the parameters and everything. So yeah.